What's up, guys? Welcome back. I'm here in sunny Tucson, Arizona on a business trip, and I rented this. Well, actually I didn't. This was a mistake on the rental car company because they didn't have the compact SUV that I ordered, so they gave me this instead. This is a 2023 BMW X5 xDrive40i, and today I'm going to take in a complete tour of this vehicle. We're going to check it out starting right here in the front and pop the hood, see what powers up this thing, and of course go around and jump inside and take it for a spin. And if this is the first time we meet, my name is Matt, and here on Matt the Carguy I post 2 car reviews every single week. If that's something that interests you, don't forget to check out the rest of my channel, subscribe. Now let's get back to this. The original X5 was introduced back in 1999, and this is the 4th generation of. Now, this particular generation was redesigned in 2019, and it largely remains the same, at least on the exterior. So let's take a look at some of the design characteristics. First of all, it has this nice and long hood, pretty flat, but it's nicely sculpted, especially on the sides, having those 2 indents, creating that better aerodynamics and airflow. BMW logo right on top. Double kidney grille. Now this is an active grille. It has the louvers that open up if it needs that extra air to help with cooling. And then moving on to the side, you have these LED headlights. Now this is the fully LED light setup, including the turn signal, of course, the headlights, the high beams, and it has the LED daytime running lights. Now if you scroll down here, this is not a sport package, so this is just regular trim. It has an actually functional air curtain on the side, some of the polished aluminum trimming alongside here, as well as in front, and a little bit of the matte black. Nothing too crazy about it. Now, let's see what powers up this thing. Powering up this X5 is a 3-liter inline-6 turbocharged engine producing 335 horsepower and 331 foot-pounds of torque, and it's mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. I gotta tell you, it is smooth after a few days driving it both on the expressway and on the roads. I gotta tell you, this engine is one of my favorite ones. It is quick. It actually can propel this vehicle 0 to 60. BMW says 5.2 seconds, but it's been tested below 5 seconds. Now let's take a look at the rest of the engine setups. You have a lot of bracing right here for that extra rigidity and better driving dynamics. Also, the engine sits down in this engine compartment for that better center of gravity, and the hood is propped up by these 2 struts, one on each side. It has some sound insulation, and of course it does have that double latch for extra security right here. BMW calls it an SAV, which is a sport activity vehicle, not just a SUV, right? So let's take a look at the side profile. I like it. You know, it grew over the years, but it still remains close to the original X5 that came out, yes, in 1999. Let's take a look and see what we have here as far as the wheel and tire setup. So 20-inch rims are standard on the X5, and that's what you get. Now, 275 by 45 are the size of the tires. This is, again, the standard tire size, and you can see somewhat of a large rotors in the back. They're 15.8 inches in the front to give you that extra stopping power, and they work really, really well. Now, as far as the design, you have this matte black trim around the wheel wells, and then the fixed side step right at the bottom here. And that's interesting. All the BMWs, or most of them, have this air outlet right here. That's for that, again, better aerodynamics, and it is surrounded by this satin chrome trim. Mirrors the same color as the rest of the vehicle, and you have the turn signal, the camera right here, so it has a 360 and the blind spot assist. Now also the satin chrome is the surroundings of the windows right here. Of course the pillars are blacked out, and this vehicle is equipped with the keyless entry system. It allows you to lock or unlock this vehicle, without touching any buttons on the key, and that is from any of the 4 doors. So that's pretty nice. You also have the low profile roof rails, and this is it. This is the side. Well, let's go around and check out the back. And I love the design in the back, starting with these lights, huge LED lights. Now, when you hit the unlock button, they start glowing. You can also see the turn signals blinking. So this is the whole LED light setup, including even the reverse lights, which are right here. Now, gate spoiler with the third brake light. I kind of wish that they hit this wiper underneath here. This would be really nice. BMW logo, rear view camera. Scrolling down here, you have this 2-part of this bumper. The top part right here is dressed in the same color as the rest of the vehicle, and then you have this polished aluminum trim, and definitely visible and not fake exhaust like you see on some of the other competitors. Now, the gate can be accessed several different ways. Of course, I could just open it up from here. I can open it up from the remote, which is what I'm gonna do. And by the way, this is a 2-piece gate, and it can be programmed where you can open just the top part or both parts. I have it set up as both parts right here. So let's take a look inside, see how much room we have. So here it is. This is the gate. You have the separate bottom portion which you can close up, and I'll show you that in a little bit. And this is how much room you have on the inside, and it's quite a bit. It definitely is either the same or maybe even a little bit more as the GLE. So no shortage of room here. Let's see if we have anything special here. So you have this X badging, you have the 12-volt outlet, and of course you have the illumination on both sides. Now, you have this floor that opens up right here, and check this out. Not only opens up, but it stays open. It has this strut right there that keeps it open. Some of the models I've seen, they have the spare tire. This one doesn't. So this is just an extra storage, but so cool. If you had a spare tire and just want to take it out, you don't have to hold it with one hand and worrying that it's going to fall on you. You just open it up and let it be. Now, the seats, as you can see, they fold down, and you can have the seats folded down in basically several different configurations. You can do the whole thing. You can do 60/40. You can do this middle pass-through, which I'm going to show you while on the interior, or you can fold just one of those seats down however you want it. That's going to extend that room. Now, one thing that I wish it would have, because see, I can't even reach, even if I wanted to, I can't reach these seats from here without folding up this gate. And let's see. Okay, I'm gonna get this gate folded up, the bottom portion. See if I can get to it. There you go. Now, I'm a little bit taller. So now this is how much room you have with the seats folded down. Quite a bit. Over 74 cubic feet. And that, of course, is with this bottom portion of the gate folded up. Now, I'm not sure what the reasoning would be to leave this closed. If you want to load something, wouldn't you rather have this open? Yeah, that would be me. Now, press the button, both parts of the gate will close, and there you go. So let's talk about the roominess in the back. Actually, it's pretty good. Now, I have this seat adjusted to my regular driving position, a very comfortable one too. I like to lean back when I'm driving. Now, I'm 6 feet tall, and I'm not touching my knees to the back of this seat. I also have plenty of headroom, about 2 inches, and enough shoulder room. The seats are on the tougher side, but they are comfortable. Well, let me show you the rest of this interior. Starting with the rear door panel right here, you have a lot of soft materials right here. This is all wrapped in, I believe that's what they call the Sensa Tech or Sensa Fin material. I think they changed that. This is the man-made leather, all vegan. And then right here you have this aluminum trim piece with the ambient lighting inside. You have this trim that continues throughout the rest of this vehicle as well. And then underneath here you have the speaker cover. Lots of storage right here for whatever you want to put in here, a bottle of water and a couple snacks maybe. And then of course you have your door handle and the window control. Now, as you walk in this vehicle, you also have the lit up BMW, and then these are your seats. Let's check them out. I like this quilted design. Looks like leather, but again, this is not leather. This is the man-made materials. And then you can open up, of course, your armrest, cup holders, and extra storage. And guess what? If you are going skiing maybe and just want to have this portion open, well, just pull on this and there you go. You can just open this pass-through right here without folding up any of the other seats. Now let's take a look and see what else we have. Very slight bump, almost none in the middle, so fairly flat floor. Right in the middle console, you have your vents. You also have your climate control settings and the heated seats, the outward heated seats. Now it has that quad zone climate control, 2 in the back, 2 in the front, a little bit of storage, and down below you also have a power outlet. And also what you have in the seat back pockets is the USB-C type outlet, and you have some seat back pockets. Now this is both for driver and passenger. And before we get inside, let's take a listen to the sound of the closing door. Boom. So nice. Great quality. Take a look at the door panel right here. Similar characteristics as in the back, of course, with the addition of the memory seat settings. And of course, you have the door handle with the lock and unlock, and you have the window mirror and lock controls here. Now you can open your gate right with this button right on top. You have some nice trim. I'm not sure what they called it. I think it was anthracite. And then down below that you have the speaker cover, polished aluminum trim with the ambient lighting inside, and tons of storage at the bottom of the door. Now as we move towards the vehicle, first of all, you see a lot of sand because we are in the desert here in Tucson. And now you have this BMW badge or BMW logo that's lit up. I can't see that because of the light right now. And the seats, you have several different adjustments on the seats, more on the driver than the passenger. Of course, you also have this manual adjustment for the tie rest here. The seats are nicely sculpted, but I gotta tell you, I do find the GLE seats more comfortable than this. Now let's jump inside. I'll show you the rest of this interior. So here's the interior of this 2023 BMW X5. I tell you, it does have tons of features. Not like the original BMWs when they came out. It was like very Spartan. Now, if you look at the design of it, you can see that this is wrapped basically with the same material, I believe, as the rest of the seating. Right here you have the polished aluminum trim. You have this trim right in the middle. Not sure what they call it. I think it's anthracite, but I'm not sure. Right underneath this polished aluminum, you have the ambient lighting, which I'm going to try to present you. I'm going to try to record it at night and see if we're able to do that. Nice and powerful vents. I got to tell you, this climate control keeps me nice and comfortable in this desert heat. Now, check this out, guys. It's 7 a.m. Now, I started this video at about 6 a.m. just to escape this heat, so we don't have to do it at the 106 when that's what comes later. Now, if you look at the steering wheel, it's nice as far as the size of it. It's not a sporty steering wheel, no flat bottom, but it feels good in your hand. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the steering dynamics when we drive this vehicle. And on the steering wheel itself, you have the pedal shifters in the back, and this controls your cruise control. You also have the LIM button. That's basically for the speed limit, so you can set up your cruise control to go at or maybe slightly above the speed limit. BMW logo right here, and then this controls what's going on in the head-up display. And I'm not sure if you can see that right now, but it's blinking right there. And you know, I can go through some of the features. You know, right now it says that it is Android Auto, and we can select different options, AM, FM. You also have the speed limit there and the speed limit sign, or then the speed as well, the one that you're driving with, so it says 0. Now, if you look to the left of the steering wheel, you'll find a panel with a bunch of buttons, and that's basically what controls your lights. So right now we're at auto. You can turn them off or manually turn these lights on, and of course you have the dimmer switch for the instrument panel and the infotainment system. I forgot to mention that this heated steering wheel, so this probably does have the premium package, as it does have the head-up display, panoramic sunroof, so it does have a few options that I wouldn't expect out of the rental vehicle. So here's your instrument cluster. It's all digital. You can see the navigation is right in the middle. You can also see which drive you're in and the speeds. And 7:14 a.m. we have 180 miles to empty. By the way, that's pretty good gas mileage, 23 combined, 86 degrees outside, and it's at 7:14 a.m. Now, we can toggle through some options here, and you do that by pressing the top button right here. So it says BC, you press that, and then you can see. So right now we have the trip, And going through those, you can see the foot-pounds of torque, horsepower, and then your G meter, and you have your media, what's playing now. And then we're in the comfort mode, and we're in drive, so that's probably need to change. We're going to put it in park, but I want to also show you the different drive modes that are available. We're going to do that while looking over the infotainment system, but I just want you to know that it is also visible right here in the instrument cluster. So on the left hand side, you also have the gas gauge and the temperature gauge on the right hand side. Moving on to the infotainment system, this is your main screen. It kind of looks like a tablet, right? So you have the date, time, where we at, news. I think you can customize a lot of that. And on the left hand side, you see, different shortcuts right here. So this is a touchscreen, but the preferred method to control it, most likely for most people is going to be this trackpad. We've seen that on several different BMWs. So let's go back to the home screen and let's see. So this is your media basically, and it's going to tell you the different sources that you have. So you have the Sirius XM, FM radio, AM radio, news, Spotify, Bluetooth, Android Auto, mobile devices. So tons of options that you can choose from. Now this is your so that's basically your phone. You have the telephone, right? I have my Android Auto connected right now. And here we are. This is the map on the Android Auto, and of course you can see the main screen if you'd like to, and go back to the BMW options. But this is nice, very responsive, and I haven't lost connection yet. And as soon as I get in the car, it connects automatically, which is really nice. I only had to do it once. So that's Android Auto, mobile devices, BMW Assist, BMW Messages. That's your second menu options. And now here's your navigation system. If you didn't want to use the Android Auto, you have the built-in navigation system. And of course, with the navigation also gives you the option to use Android Auto. Now on the left hand side, you have the traffic info, theme map, map settings, and split screen, so you can adjust that as well. And if you wanted to do it a split screen, you can do that as well. So you turn this on, and basically you're going to have map on one side and then the compass on the other side, and I believe this is customizable too. So back to the main screen, and then the next setting down is car, and this is where a lot of settings are for the vehicle. So right on top you have the driving information, and once we select this, you have the trip data, sport displays, driving style analysis, X view, and this is for the all-wheel drive view, energy flow. What's an X view? All right, so this is basically gives you the pitch and roll, elevation 2,398 feet right here in Tucson, and then gives you all that basic data here. Now go back, sport displays. All right, this is pretty cool. So you have everything. You have your turbo, PSI, foot-pounds of torque. You have your G meter, horsepower, temperature. This is really interesting. You have that. I didn't know BMW had it. This is really good. And then the energy flow, basically the engine running comfort request right now. So the battery is charging. Now it does have this mild hybrid system that supports the powerful inline six. So this is awesome. Go back to the vehicle status. Now if there was anything wrong with the vehicle, any of those icons would turn basically red, and tells you that hey, there's an issue, whether it's a check engine light, low tire pressure, or anything like this. Settings. Now this is where you have tons of settings that you can choose from. So you can choose the driving modes, and you can actually, this is where you can customize your Sport Individual and Eco Pro Individual mode, exterior lighting, driver assistance, displays. You have the doors, vehicle access, interior lighting. That includes, of course, your ambient lighting right here. And again, let's check it out at night.
Well, this BMW X5 also have the ambient lighting, and what better time to check it when it's getting dark, of course. So here it is. It's on the screen right now. You select car, and then settings, and then we go to interior lighting right here. Let's select the color and see how it changes. Check this out. This is that blue and white coloring, so you can see all of this. This is all lit up. Now let's change it to blue. See how that's gonna change? There you go. Now we have this 2 shades of blue right here, 50 shades of gray, however you want to call it. This looks really, really good. So this is the ambient lighting. Now let's get back to the bright side.
Climate control, key button settings. So you can even set this up of what the key does. So let's say the driver's door only. You can do all doors or driver's doors only as far as the unlock, and the gate button, it's going to be both tailgates right now, but I told you it can be programmed, so you can do all of these or one of those options on the right hand side. So this is interesting. And now let's get back to the experience mode. Now these are the modes that will help you, let's say, relax or help you forget about the daily stress. So different executive setting, for example. So right now it says use the cool, calm atmosphere to focus your thoughts. You know, we can end this mode right here, and then we have the expressive and well-being that adjust your temperature, just adjust some music in here. But what I really like is the carrying car, and this is the next one down here. So let's take a look. You have the relax. So let's say you're after a long day of work and you hit this, and it's 3 minutes of, you know, nice music and nice. You can turn that up a little bit. Check out the radio. Nice sunrise view here. And then you can just sit back, relax, and forget about, oh, I have to go to work. All right, go back. Now turn that off. So we're gonna end this program right here. The radio sounds really, really good too. And then you have also the vitalized one. This is the 3 minute, invigorates the driver with the climate control, lights and music. So again, this is a different program, different music. And check this out. Even the moonroof opens. So it opens up, so allows more light in here, gives you that more bright feeling, gets you ready for the day. This is an interesting feature on here. Well, I'm not gonna make you listen to it for 3 minutes, but you can see what's going on as far as I turned off the program, but you could see that the fans were going up and down. They were kind of dancing. Now let's go back. I'll show you this one more time here with the vitalized one. To pay attention to the fan speeds right here, because a lot of this is going on right here. 64, okay, fan down, fan up, you know, it wakes you up, it gets you going. We'll end this program, and now you have the vans, very nice and powerful. Shortcuts for your climate control, and that includes your heated seats, window defogger, window defrosters, automatic settings. You know, these are the ones that you're going to use the most, so they're nicely highlighted. This is your temperature and fan settings menu for the AC. Yeah, let's hit that. Right, the AC, that's on the auto right now. And down below, you know, you have the volume and power button right here. You can select different modes and bands. And these buttons right here, these are not the radio stations. Now, you can assign those buttons to certain functions that you want the vehicle to do. So I've been playing around with it yesterday. Let's see, this is button number 1. I assigned it to the key button settings. If I press button number 2, I assign it to the interior lighting. So, I mean, you can assign it to a certain functions. This is kind of like your shortcut buttons to whatever you want the vehicle to do. Scrolling down here, I like this. This is not shiny, which is a huge plus in my book. And you can see it's got the ambient lighting right here, but also you have this command center. Before we get to it, let's open this up. So, you have cup holders down here with the 12-volt power outlet, USB port, and the wireless charging. Now, this is where you can store your phone as well if you'd like to, or close it off to be out of the way. You have this gear shifter. I actually like it. It took me just a little bit to get used to it, but I like this regular gear shifter. This is your park, and of course you press it to select different gears, and then you can put it in the manual mode as well. But if you'd like to do it, this is the manual sport mode right here, but if you'd like to do it with the pedal shifters on the steering wheel, you can as well. And then you have the traction control off. Now this is your camera. So once we have this, let's check this out. This is your front view camera, but I'm going to put it in reverse, and let's see how the rear view camera looks like. And there you go. So you have your 360 camera, really nice quality. You have the active trajectory lines right there, and it can show you which camera is displaying right now, and that we are close to this tree or this bush right here. So you have the automated parking, you can do that. You have the backup assistant right there. So we have 164 feet, I guess, before we would hit something. So no pressure, we can do that, right? And I'm going to start backing out in here. Well, we're not going to do that. Put it in park, but parking canceled, wrong gear engage. Don't worry about that. And this is your rear view camera. Now let's go back to the home screen. See, I'm toggling between using that trackpad and my fingers for the touchscreen, but you know, you can use whatever feels more comfortable to you. And this is pretty much it, you know, as far as the infotainment system. Now, again, this is your trackpad. You can control it several different ways. First of all, you have a bunch of shortcuts. So media, home, map, navigation, calm as far as the phone, and this is for your apps, so installed apps. Now, I haven't talked about that, so, okay, good. So you have the Amazon Alexa, you have the weather, you have the drive recorder, which is pretty cool, and you can do the settings and let's see, so you can trigger the recording, and you can do the camera selection, so you can see which camera is going to be recording, whether all or, you know, the front camera, rear camera, etc. So this is a pretty cool feature, you know, kind of like onboard dash cam that you have. You also have the M lap timer, and you know, this, of course, warning, use only in accordance with the law, you know, but this is if you're doing laps, you can use that. Experience modes and carrying car, we already went through that. Automatic window, uneven road surface. I was driving yesterday, and this option is turned on, and maybe while we're driving it's going to show up again, but there was an uneven road, and it gave me this warning, says, hey, there's an uneven road surface here. So that's pretty cool feature too. Back to home and back to this controller in here. So again, so you have a bunch of shortcuts. You can control different ways. Of course, you can twist it, and then you can select it, or you can go up, down, to the sides, as you can see. And anytime you see something that you want to select, you just hit that. Go back, option, and then anytime you lost, just hit the home button. It's going to take you to the home screen. Now on the left hand side, this is your start stop button. You have the Sport, Comfort, Eco Pro, hill descent control, and auto hold for the brakes, as well as the electronic parking brake. Now this is all dressed in this kind of glass or piano black, and like I said, I've been driving this car for a little bit, so I apologize, it might be just a little bit dirty. So sport mode, let's take a look at what we see as far as setting up the mode. So if I hit the sport mode, it gives me the option to go standard, plus, individual, or configure individual mode. So we have in dynamic settings or extra dynamic settings for the Sport Plus. We have the Comfort. This is nice and balanced. Eco Pro, that's standard or my configuration. So this is for the efficient driving settings. And then this is it. These are your drive modes. So within the 3 drive modes, you have 2 sub modes between each one of them. So that's really a cool feature too. And then this is it as far as the console. We have a little bit more storage here with a USB Type-C. And this is it. Now, if we scroll up here, this vehicle does not have this rear view camera mirror, but again, we're talking about the fairly base trim. Now, I'm going to try to contact BMW and see if they can give me a sticker, all the options on it, but you have the illuminated mirrors. We already seen the panoramic sunroof, and you can open this up. You know, this is nice and big, and you can also, of course, open up the glass. You have the nice windscreen right here, and actually the air feels pretty good right now. It's not too hot yet, even though it says 86 degrees. It is a nice break from 106 and 110 that we see during the day. Now let's take this vehicle on the road and see how it drives. I'm ready to go, and the vehicle is running. I'm here in this empty parking lot. We're going to check out the turning radius, but before we do that, well, let's talk about the different prices that, or different trim levels that are available and what they are. So basically, the base BMW is an xDrive40i. This is the rear-wheel drive, same engine, same powertrain. This is the inline six turbocharged, 335 horsepower, 62,595. If you want to opt in for an all-wheel drive, you get an xDrive40i, which is what I'm sitting in right now. Then there's a plug-in hybrid. That's the xDrive45e. I believe it's 385 horsepower, and that starts at 66,695. And then, of course, you have the M50i, and that's 523 horsepower, and then there's an X5M, which is a 600 horsepower. So depending on which one you want, there is something for everyone. Now, at $66,000, probably with this packages right here, this vehicle would be around $72,000. Just my guess. I'm going to try to get the original sticker from BMW to see what options are on this one, just to kind of give you the idea. And I'm going to post it in the description box below this video so you can see. Hopefully I'll get lucky and was able to get it. So let's start driving, and let's see the turning radius first. Now, here in this empty parking lot, it's not very even, but it doesn't matter. Let's see. Steering wheel all the way to the left, and we have 1, 2. There's no parking spots. I can just measure it in my mind. Very tight. Very nice. All right. Let's change it to the sport mode, because the road that we're about to go to requires sport handling. So we're going to do it in Sport Plus. And we have some hills, we have some turns, and we can check out the acceleration. Probably not going to be a good idea doing it uphill, right? Let's see. Let's go. And there you go, we're at 60 miles an hour. We get some hills, uphill, going up. I like that feedback of the engine. You can hear, of course, probably speaker enhanced somewhat, but it also has a little bit of the rev matching here. Nice turns. Holds on to the road really, really nicely. There was not a time when I was driving it to see that it was kind of escaping from me as a driver. One thing to mention though, I turned off the lane keep assist, which was just annoying. It was just bad. It wasn't really a good lane keep assist. So lane departure warning, I should say. So I turned that off because it was, you know, borderline obtrusive. Like, you know, hey, I want to go this part of the lane, and it was trying to center me in it. And you know, sometimes when you're next to a big semi truck, that's not a really good idea. I like the way that this vehicle accelerates. It's very dynamic. It's definitely a driver's vehicle, but it is comfortable enough for the entire family. So, and this is Sport Plus. This is the most aggressive mode. This is the mode that I really don't care for in the Mercedes GLE. That one to me is too aggressive. This one is just very toned down, surprisingly, because I thought it would be the other way around. So while driving, let's talk a little bit about the segment that this vehicle fits in. in. So this is a mid-size luxury SUV, and we have players like Mercedes-Benz GLE, which was just redesigned slightly for 2024. So is BMW, by the way, so they both got a little bit of a refresh. Now the one that I tested was a 4-cylinder, and I gotta tell you, I like this one a lot better. That inline six is smooth as butter, is not loud. This is in that most aggressive mode, and even if I lay down on it, you can hear the engine, but it's not like super loud. Now if you get to the M50 or if you get to the X5M, I believe that might be a completely different story. But this vehicle is very nice and very balanced. Now the Lexus is, again, this was a 4-cylinder, and you cannot even get an option for a 6-cylinder on the Lexus RX. So they're all 4 cylinders. The RX 500 was nice. I liked it, but again, I like this one better as far as driving. So, and then I haven't tested out the Audi, so I can't tell you firsthand of what that is, hopefully soon. But out of the three, this one would be my top pick. Well guys, I'm enjoying this vehicle. I'm gonna have another 3 days with it as I'm here in Tucson, Arizona, and I gotta tell you, I'm so glad that this rental car company didn't have what I ordered, which was basic, a compact SUV, and they comped me an upgrade. So huge thanks to Sixt Rent-A-Car for doing that and making this video possible. Guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you learned something. If you like videos like this, don't forget to check out the rest of my channel and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.